Hi, I'm Melanie. If you clicked on this video, there's a good chance that you have been informed that you or someone you know needs hearing aids. Well, as a hearing aid user myself, I'm here to give you some info on the more specific ups and downs of my experience. I already covered the basics in my introduction video, which you can find in the description, but I'll give you a quick summary. I have what is classified as mild to moderate hearing loss. In my intro, I described my hearing as about the same as someone that can hear normally having a bad cold. So while I do use hearing aids and I definitely do need them, I can't speak for people with more severe hearing loss that may require more extensive corrective technologies such as a cochlear implant. First of all, what do hearing aids do? Put simply, they fix your hearing. If your ear is hearing things quieter than most people, your hearing aid can crank up the volume and make your hearing more or less equivalent to that of the average person. However, a common misconception is that hearing aids are like glasses for your ears. And to this I say, not really. It's not totally wrong, because you do put them on every day and they do fix your hearing to a level that makes it possible for you to function in society without considerable issue. But hearing aids are not perfect. With glasses or contact lenses, your prescription is a lens that does not have any electronic parts and has its thickness and curvature optimized for your vision. While they do put you through a lot of tests at the optometrist's office, just like they do at the audiologist, prescription glasses are easily transferable to contact lenses or other brands of glasses with hardly any noticeable difference. Hearing aids, on the other hand, cover a range of frequencies unique to the user and require an audiologist to program your hearing aids to meet your needs. Not only that, but because hearing aids are tiny computers, they have far more components than lenses. Certain brands are more optimized for different lifestyles, and audio quality varies from model to model, even with the same exact programming. This is an audiogram. Whenever you take a hearing test, your audiologist will make one of these and use it to figure out how they're going to program your hearing aids. But Melanie, I have no idea what's going on here. You also put this in the intro video and didn't explain it. Well, fear not. I have more than just the intro for a reason. So the red represents the right ear and the blue is the left ear. And to explain this curve, I present to you this wonderful thing I learned about recently. And you'll never guess what it's called. It is a speech banana. As you can see, there is a big yellow banana-shaped blob in the center, which includes most sounds in the average conversational language. The little cartoons around it are other sounds, and they're labeled too. As you go from left to right, the frequencies go from lower to higher in hertz, and from top to bottom, they go from quieter to louder. Because it's easier to hear louder sounds, the lower you are on the audiogram, the worse your hearing is. Let's look at some cartoons now. We got truck, very loud at around 100 decibels, also very low frequency. We got rustling leaves at about mid-range frequency, but very quiet. And of course, my personal favorite, piano. Now let's read my audiogram. Because my hearing loss has been pretty stable for my entire life, it's always looked similar to this. So as you can see, the right side of my audiogram doesn't curve up like it's supposed to. Looking at the banana, this means that without hearing aids, I have trouble with hearing whispers and consonants like fs and k. I also can't really hear birds, which is kind of sad. Alright, back to hearing aids. Depending on what you can and can't hear as well, which you now hopefully know how to read, your audiologist will program your hearing aids to correct for your specific hearing loss. If you're getting new hearing aids, you'll be able to borrow different styles and different brands to try out. The first model I had that I got when I was a few months old were behind the ear or BTE hearing aids, and now I use RITE, receiver in the ear. Obviously, I didn't have a choice in my first pair, but the BTE hearing aid is recommended for small children because they are durable, comfortable, and easily adjustable. However, BTE can be a bit bulky and more annoying to clean in my opinion, which is why I decided to switch to another style. The remaining options for me were RITE, ITE, which is in the ear, and ITC in the canal. RITE is essentially a slimmer version of the BTE. Instead of a tube, it uses wire, and instead of an ear mold, you have a dome. I find my RITE hearing aids more comfortable than my BTE ones because they allow for more airflow. But I will say that shoving a small piece as deep into your ear as the RITE demands does take some getting used to. In the ear and in the canal are very similar. They both look like wireless earbuds and act like ear molds. The only difference is that ITC sits deeper in the ear, making it less detectable if stealth is one of your goals. I personally eliminated both of these options right away because I don't want people thinking I'm just wearing alternative AirPods and then asking me to take them out. Before I go, I want to talk about the perks of wearing hearing aids. Very first one that comes to mind, Bluetooth. My previous hearing aids were older technology and didn't have this feature, so whenever I wanted to wear earbuds, I had to remove the hearing aids. Not only did this nerf my hearing, but turning up the volume wouldn't always help, because hearing loss isn't just God turning down the settings on your ear volume. Now, you're probably thinking, oh, but Melanie, headphones should be fine, right? 'Cause you can just wear them over the hearing aids. No. Now I can do that because they fixed that issue, but back in my day, hearing aids would start screaming when you covered them with literally any solid surface, like this. I kid you not. This would even happen if I was wearing a hat or trying to take a nap with them on. So yes, Bluetooth really did change my life. I now probably listen to over 5 times more music than I used to, and being medical equipment, all of it is in better comfort and quality than many earbuds or headphones could even dream of. I can also brag to my friends about being something of a cyborg, but that's beside the point. There are other cool things about modern hearing aids too, like settings to optimize for different situations, such as single speaker versus crowded areas. I basically have the superpower of never being annoyed by background noise because my hearing aids turn it down just enough for me to know it exists, but not enough to cause any kind of distraction. So I hope you were able to learn something or think of things you hadn't considered before. Thanks for watching, and see you next time!